As you likely know, podcasting is exploding in popularity, and it's proving to be a game changer for local governments. However, it needs to be well planned, professionally produced, and consistent for long-term success. And that's why we're offering you an opportunity for a complimentary podcast launch kit. Hi, I'm Matthew James with the Local Government Podcast Network, and you're invited to take advantage of our custom podcast launch kit, a resource that's worth well over $95, but it's yours free for a limited time. Let me tell you what's all included in your kit and why it's been such a valuable resource for cities and towns considering a podcast for their community. This 24-page custom report consists of 4 separate modules. The introduction. This section shares the basics of podcasting and is a great resource for educating others in City Hall about the value of this media. You'll also discover some ways others in local government are using podcasts to support their goals and missions. The podcast opportunity analysis. In this section, you'll have the most up-to-date stats and figures from the most relied upon sources in the U.S. More importantly, you'll be given a step-by-step guide revealing what it takes to launch a podcast for your city or town. You'll receive expert insights on the best equipment, recording options, editing options, mixing, mastering, and the importance of distribution like Apple Podcasts, Google, YouTube, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and more. Plus, you'll discover image requirements, the value of quality show notes, podcast hacks, and best practices to help you create a professional podcast with a limited budget and the least amount of staff time possible. This section will answer the questions you've been pondering, as well as ask a few questions that you may not have considered yet. The bottom line, this section will help you decide if a podcast is right for your city or town today and how to make it a long-term success when you do get started. Next is the podcast idea guide. This customized section will jumpstart creating your show. It includes a podcast episode planning guide and other tools to help you create the best title, graphics, and episodes to create a successful podcast. This section, 100% customized, researched, and handed to you on a silver platter. It'll certainly save you hours and hours of research, brainstorming, and tinkering prior to launching your podcast. Although not the longest section, this very well may be the most valuable in saving you time and avoiding mistakes. Finally, the podcast launch proposal. Here, we lay out 4 ways we can be of service if you're concerned about having the necessary technical skills, staff time, or budget to launch a podcast you can be consistent with and proud of each and every episode. You'll even discover an option that allows some cities and towns to launch their podcast within the next 30 days. Then, consistently release professional episodes without committing more than an hour of staff time or investing a single penny from the municipal budget. All that and more is yours in your custom podcast launch kit. It's easy to begin. Just enter your name and email, then click the blue Get Started button that's down below. And I'll see you on the next page.